The next step in creating a research paper is to take those sources that you've cited in Noodle tools and make note cards from them. The note cards will later be put into an outline, and later you can drag and drop things right from your note cards into your paper when you want to use them. So the more careful you are with your note cards now and the more time you spend on it, the easier your paper will be later on to write. So take your time and do it right. In order to do my note cards, I need to log into Noodle Tools and click the paper project. And from the dashboard, click on Note Cards and Outlines in the middle on the left-hand side. Now I'm at the note card tabletop, and this is the area where all of the notes that you create will be represented by a little note card picture in the middle. In order to make new note cards, click on New Note Card, and you'll be taken to the screen that allows you to put all the information in. One of the nice things about Noodle Tools is that you are able to select your source from a drop-down list. You don't have to enter it every time. So over here where it says Source, I'm going to pull down the menu, and you'll have at least 5 sources listed here if you cited them all in Noodle Tools. I only have one that I just did as an example. So select the source that you are reading, and it will automatically be linked. Next, I need to enter a title of my note card, and the title should be just as descriptive as you can make it, because that will later on help you. If my topic is cell phone use while driving, I don't want to put that as my note card title. That's not specific enough, because all of my note cards will be about cell phone use while driving. Instead, I want to name it something very descriptive according to what I'm reading in my source. So I'm going to title this Hands-free usage is dangerous too, because the section that I'm reading in my article is all about how hands-free cell phone use can be just as dangerous as somebody who's dialing or texting using a touchscreen device. Next, I need to fill in the direct quotation box. And direct quotation means word for word taken from your article. So I'm going to go back to my article. Here's where it's nice if you can copy and paste from your screen. So I'm going to select the part that I think I need to put in my note card. So I'm going to select just a few sentences, no more than 5 sentences that I think express one main idea. Once I have them selected, I'm going to right-click, copy, go back to my Noodle Tools note card, right-click, paste in the direct quotation box. So here I have a few sentences that express something that I will want to put in my paper. Later on in my paper, if I want to use the words that are right in this box, since it's a direct quotation, I know I will have to put them in quotation marks, or else I'll be plagiarizing. The next box I'll fill in is the paraphrase box. A paraphrase is putting the author's words in your own words and really rearranging the sentence structure so that it's your own. I still would have to give credit for a paraphrase in the paper because I didn't come up with the idea. The author of the article did. But I no longer would have to put it in quotation marks because it's my own work. Most of your papers should be made up of paraphrases of your research, not direct quotations. You can use direct quotations a few times, but paraphrasing is the most important part. So after reading my direct quotation several times, enough to get the meaning in my head, I'm going to stop looking at it, cover it up with a hand or a post-it note, or just look away, and then I'm going to write the meaning of that direct quotation in the paraphrase box. Don't try to follow the format of the direct quotation. Put it in your own words, but also your own format. So instead of a ban on handheld cell phone use will be insufficient if we are to cure the epidemic, only a total ban on drivers' use of cell phones, handheld and hands-free, will bring progress. I'm going to change that to A ban needs to be placed on all cell phone usage while driving, not just handheld. See how that totally changes the format of the direct quotation? The meaning is still there, but I've boiled it down to one sentence instead of two, and I've completely changed the structure. It should look significantly different than the direct quotation. The paraphrase box, like I said, is very important because that is what you're using to write your paper for the most part. Really, I've just written a sentence that later can be actually put into my paper. So the more time you take with your paraphrasing, the less time you'll have to take with the actual writing process. If I see the direct page number from the magazine that this quote is on, I can put a page number up here. But most of you will just leave this page number blank and also the URL blank, because remember, we don't have persistent links, meaning a link that would work every time if somebody clicked on it. So leave most of this blank. Piles will come later, and the only other thing you might want to fill in is the My Ideas box. The My Ideas box can be used for you to take any separate notes that you think will help you later on in your paper. So for instance, I might write in My Ideas, use at the beginning of the paper. And that reminds me that as I was reading this, I was thinking this would be really good at the start of my paper. You could leave the My Ideas box blank if you'd like. Once I'm done, I'm going to hit save, and I'll be taken back to my note card tabletop, where I'll see in the new note cards box over here on the left my new note card that I just created. In order to move this note card about the tabletop, I'll have to pick it up by holding down the mouse button and bring it over to the tabletop. You can see I already created one note card, and this is my second one now. If I want more details about the note card, I hover over it, and it will pop up, the direct quote will pop up, so I can kind of see what I was thinking when I was writing that note card. And if I want to open up the note card again, I'll just click Edit. This can be used then to move about the note card tabletop and organize your note cards into piles. You can even pop them on top of each other if you think they're very similar and belong together, like this. Give the pile a title, and then Noodle Tools shows them as one pile of very similar note cards. If I wanted to expand the pile, I'd hover over it and hit expand, and that would show me the note cards that were in the pile. One more important thing to note about the note card tabletop is that it's a lot bigger than you see on this screen. If you look at this box in the bottom left, that represents your entire note card tabletop. And just the part in the blue box is what's showing on the screen. So if you ever log into Noodle Tools and it looks like your note cards have completely disappeared like this, look down to this bottom left-hand corner and make sure your view is correctly over your note cards. After you're done with your note cards, you'll use them to create your outline, which will give a plan for your paper. But for now, just focus on making note cards. You need 30 note cards or more. So that will take some work. But remember, you're actually writing your paper as you write these note cards. So it's not wasted work. Good luck!